Get back to that breaking news this hour, this attempted coup in Benin. Joining us from Accra, in Ghana, of course, is Adama Gueye. He's a political analyst and former director of communication at ECOWAS. Adama, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us what you know here.
Okay, what we know is that in neighboring Benin, because I'm very close to Benin, I'm speaking to you from Ghana, military attacked the house of the president, who is Mr. Patrice Talon, and there were heavy gunfire shot against his house. And we saw also some military who spoke on a television in Benin, Cotonou, the capital, and they said that the president was ousted and replaced by a military with the establishment of a Salvation Organization Committee to take over the reign of the country. The problem is, this is not something that surprised anybody, because we have been hearing a lot of tension in that country. Some of the opposition members have been arrested for years and maintained in jail by the president in place, Talon, and also there is a process towards the new election next year or 2027 to replace him in power. He has already designated somebody to take over from him, from his party, his current Minister of Finance, who is Mr. Romuald Wadani, and he had managed to eliminate key people from the leading opposition party of former President Mr. Yayi Boni. So there was really a lot of tension within the country, and even there had been a coup attempt by close friends of the outgoing president. So nobody is surprised that the military came out and tried to do this attempted coup. It is not new in Benin. In the 1970s, Benin was known for a hub of military coup.
Adama, the thing here is also, I mean, as you mentioned, Patrice Talon was due to step down the next presidential election, slated for April, and his replacement, or his nomination for his replacement anyway, was already set. So, I mean, with the idea that he was going to be stepping down in just a few months, it must be a surprise that the military or factions within the military have acted in this way.
Yes, because of course, everybody had the feeling that it was going to be a smooth transition, because really, in economic terms, in terms of infrastructure, Benin Republic was doing marvelous. It was achieving great strides towards its economic development. Myself, I was supposed to go after tomorrow to meet key business people interested in distribution of petroleum products in West Africa coming from Europe. But this is no longer possible. Why this has happened? Maybe the fact that actually this transition from Mr. Talon to a newly elected president next year was not seen as something as genuine. People believe that it's the Medvedev-Putin type of transition, where Mr. Talon will put a figurehead in his place and continue running the show from behind the scene. So this is something, this fake type of democracy that may have prompted the military to stage this coup. Whether they will succeed or not is early to say, because only what we know is that they've tried. Will they succeed? It is not new in West Africa, because recently we have heard there is a coup in Guinea-Bissau, with the advent of the military taking over from Embalo, Sissoko Embalo, the embattled president of that country, to the point that the ECOWAS, the regional body, economic community of West African states, was due to convening a meeting, a summit of heads of state on 14th of December to discuss the coup in Guinea-Bissau. Most likely they will have to discuss also the problems afflicting the West African region in terms of military intervention, eruption in the region, from Benin, from Guinea-Bissau to Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso. The time of military coup is back in West Africa, and I think that there is a need to seriously address the root cause, not the symptoms of these coups, in order to see whether really the democracy would be a reality or not in West Africa.
Adama, you know, with all that in mind, what is that root cause in your belief?
The root cause is that we don't have democracy. We pretend to have democracy in all of the West African countries. In addition to that, the economic conditions of the people is very bad. It's worsening, improving a lot of few people, inequalities, and the fact that people are mismanaging democracy to sustain themselves in power. If they don't become very serious and honest about promoting real democracy, rule of law, good governance, freedom of expression, freedom of opinion, all those things that are part of the democratic process, they are exposing themselves, those leaders from Nigeria, even where there has been a coup attempt, to Cote d'Ivoire, to Senegal, across the West African region, military coup will continue to be a reality in Africa.
Adama, we're hearing that this body from the military, these Beninese soldiers, say they've appointed Lieutenant Colonel Pascal Tigri to lead a newly formed military committee for refoundation. Do you know anything about this Lieutenant Colonel?
No, look, this is something that came out of the blues. Nobody expected that it will happen today. But we knew that there was something underway in Benin. People were not happy. And we know the history of that country. In the 1970s, Benin had military coup. It had at one point even a triumvirate to rule it. Aomak-Degbe, Apiti, Zensu. There were three leaders who were sharing power at that time. And Kerekou became a military leader until the 1990s, early 1990s, went through a national conference, the first of its kind in West Africa. Democracy was restored in Benin Republic. We expected Benin to continue on that full way forward. But unfortunately, Mr. Talon, when he became president, he's a businessman, true businessman, very successful businessman. He was really playing a lot of tricks and exposing himself. So the arrival of these people, even if the guy is not known, is not surprising, because that's what has happened in the past, not just in Benin Republic, but across West Africa in the type of military coup that have been done in those countries.
Adama, thank you so much. Adama Gueye, political analyst and former director of communications at ECOWAS.